Welcome back to another episode of Melanin Mysteries. And on today's episode, we're diving into the messy case of Cecily Bolden and Larry Dunn, a story of love, lies, and way too much drama. When their casual fling took a sharp left turn, things got deadly, and somehow most of the country decided to side with the killer. Yeah, it's that kind of story. So stick around as we unravel this wild tale and maybe even ask ourselves, why are people like this? I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I am your co-host, Willie.
On September 6, 2012, in Dallas, Texas, a young girl and boy, they were ages 7 and 8, they walked home from school expecting their after school snack, maybe get some homework done before dinner and cartoons before bed. Instead, they walk inside their home to find their mother bleeding and lying on the floor of her bedroom. The kids, of course, are screaming and crying for their mother, but she's not waking up. The children immediately run to the neighbor's house screaming, "Our mom is dead. Something happened to mama." So the neighbor calls 911 immediately.
All right, so when police arrived on the scene, they found a woman laid out on the floor. There was blood splatter everywhere, all over the bed, the wall, from the windows to the wall. She had been stabbed in the neck. The knife severed her cardiac artery. She was found half naked, only with a t-shirt on.
So Cecily Lee Bolden was identified as the dead woman. She was a 28-year-old mother of two. She was born in 1982 in Texas, and she was a twin. Her twin's name was Chelsea, and she also had a brother named Benjamin. Her sister said, quote, "She was born 1 minute after me, so I grew up protecting her and we had this bond. Her life was my life. She liked drama, but she was a good person and a really good mother." Her twin also said that she was outgoing, outspoken, tough, and an honest, God-fearing woman. Sissy was a CNA, but she loved to braid hair. Her dream was to own her own braiding salon. She had her daughter Bethany when she was 19, but her and her baby daddy ended up breaking up, and she was single for a while before she met Jeff Busby, aka DJ Frost. He's a DJ at a strip club in Dallas. When she was 22, and they had a son, Gerald. They broke up after 2 years, but remained close friends and co-parented their son together. So according to Jeff, they just didn't see eye to eye. Jeff was also significantly older than Cicely, about 13 or so years. It was probably because he worked at a strip club. They didn't see eye to eye, but
And his name was
Cis-
DJ Frost. What's up with these weird DJ? Remember the infamous
DJ
DJ
Awesome.
Awesome? Yes, now we got DJ Frost. I guess I don't know. Maybe it's a down south thing.
Maybe. So Cicely was laid to rest on September 20th, 2012 at the Holy Tabernacle Church International in Mesquite, Texas. The service was standing room only, and there was soft music playing, a huge banner that displayed Cicely's picture, and she was laid out in a beautiful oak casket with gold handles. They sent her out real nice and proper.
I know he should DJ at the funeral. There go my baby. That would have been like you mix that with Stairway to Heaven.
I mean, we
No,
can't say it ain't been done. What they
I'm
mixed some
telling
cut
you,
with what was it? Never
was
would
what
have
you.
made it.
Yes,
I
never,
ain't gonna lie,
never,
that
never,
was it
never.
was hitting too.
Yeah, that I want my funeral like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be playing no sad music. I want to hear Project Pack. I want to hear Lil Wayne. Yeah, I want my shit nice. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to eat good. That's what I want. And you know you ain't gonna be in charge of my funeral. So remember we talked about that list of people you gonna cuss out, right? We
Yeah,
want
you
to
know
make
you
sure.
got my list of people who not allowed at my funeral,
I
and we
know.
need to have a bouncer.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. We got that. So the neighbor, Latoya Arnett, was the neighbor that called the police. She was questioned in the interview not long after things calmed down. She was asked if she had seen or heard anything prior to the kids coming to her for help. Latoya told police that she had seen a man walk into Cicely's apartment earlier that day, about 3 or so hours before. She said she had never seen a man before, and that he was about 5'5", 5'6", so he's a short little dude. She said he didn't knock. He just walked right in, so she didn't assume anything was out of the ordinary. She said Cicely was known to date several men. Okay, she's a little freaky freak. And she didn't make the best choices of men, but that wasn't her business. And trust and believe, she did not make the best choice of men. Wink, wink.
So the police also spoke with Cicely's brother Benjamin, who informed the police that his sister, she confirmed she did date a lot of men, but she was looking for the one. So, but a lot of the men she dated were pretty questionable. There were issues with domestic violence in a lot of her relationships. So the police pulled Cicely's phone records and they come across Larry Dunn's name in her phone with some explicit text messages. So they call Larry in for questioning, and Larry readily admits that he and Cicely were dating and they had a very spicy relationship. So
Mm.
this is
It
where
was
the
spicy. It
police
was spicy. All right. Sorry.
so this is when the police inform him about her death and how she was found.
Like I told you over the phone and in person, um, there's been an incident, and that's why I wanted to talk to you. Okay? But
what is this?
it's been that she was found dead in her apartment, and we're working out.
Oh,
We're treating it as a murder right now.
God.
He was. And y'all never gotten into any kind of arguments or fights or.
I mean, argument and fight for what?
So he really seems to be in shock, but he's very adamant about having nothing to do with her death. So please let him go. But they aren't finished with him just yet. So of course they're going to do a background check on Larry, but they don't find anything in his past as alarming or that would indicate that he'll be capable of murder. He did have a couple of misdemeanors on his background, but that was it. And pretty much none of the physical evidence pointed to Larry. Like he didn't have any cuts or wounds on him when he was questioned.
Mm. So let me ask you a question. Why is it that, like, no, if you notice that the brother was like, yeah, she dated a lot of men, but she was looking for love. But when men do that, we ain't shit. Know what I'm saying? So in other words, she was a hoe.
No, no, because why can't she just date? I mean, you just because you date doesn't mean
Stop.
you sleeping with everybody.
Trust. No, okay.
I'm just saying you can
I mean,
date
you're right.
without
No,
sleeping
you're right. You, I
people.
guess you can date. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you got to
I
test
mean,
drive
I
the
mean,
car.
you
You have to test drive the vehicle before you purchase it, right?
okay, but so just so if she said she went out on a date with Larry on Tuesday, Michael on Thursday, and William on Friday, but she didn't sleep with none of them. So
So
I'm just
okay, okay. I'm
saying.
just saying
So
because yeah, okay, you're right. You guys, I look. I could be wrong, and I apologize. Maybe she was in
I
a
mean,
hoe.
they saying you shouldn't commit to just one because what if it don't put all your eggs in one basket? I mean, especially how the dating pool is now.
I know, man. What you say is full of tragedy and lemon pepper wings.
Yep, they said that's all that's out here: tragedy and lemon
Yes.
pepper wings, and
So
it's very heavy
Larry,
on that tragedy.
very heavy on the tragedy, right? So Larry and Cicely met online in the chat room. He apparently said some things to her that was inappropriate to be repeated on TV. Oh, so they were talking that talk, but she obviously liked it and they met up. From the get go, they hopped straight. There we go. Did this just confirm what I said? They hopped straight in the bed and began
Well,
a
maybe they
steamy
had chemistry.
romance.
Maybe they had chemistry. Maybe she decided to hop in
Man,
bed with him. Who
they
said
met
she
on
did it
a
with
chat
everybody?
line and he said some stuff that was inappropriate to be repeated on TV or even on his podcast. And I say some of the craziest stuff, and I can't even repeat what he said. And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's my man, my man, my man." So from the get go, I told you they had a steamy romance. Cicely was looking for love for her forever, and it seemed as if she found it in Larry. He was super attentive and he even seemed to care for her children. So the police asked Latoya if she had ever heard of a man named Larry. She said she knew of someone who had told her that Cicely was dating a man named Larry and she had never seen him. The police gave her a photo lined up, including Larry, but she was unable to identify him.
So
We
I'm
don't
not trying to
know.
be funny. Why give her police lineup? She said I ain't never seen the man. So what you putting some random in my face gonna do? I already
No,
said I
I
don't know
agree
what the
with
man
you.
look like.
No, yeah, I get you. No, that is true. I didn't even think about that. You're right. So, what would be the purpose of asking if she said she ain't never heard of him? But maybe she ain't heard of him, but she's seen him around. I don't know.
No, she
But
said she never seen him.
oh, you're right. See, now you
So
know what?
what
Now that
you?
I think about it, remember that? Remember
Yeah,
that?
but last week what Ricky was saying, they just be making up
No,
stuff.
no, no. Forget that. Remember the one girl who made that comment to you that was like, if he see me like he don't be paying attention, I get it now. I really get it now. I can see why she said that. So I'm sorry. I just want to throw that out. I pay attention, y'all. Okay. I do pay attention. It is a possibility I could miss a couple things or whatever, but I do pay attention. But anyway, the police asked Latoya about him. She said she don't know him. So we don't know almost anything about Larry Dunn aside from the fact that he was 36 at the time of the case and that he was a furniture mover in Dallas, Texas. Police also looked back in Jeff Busby, aka DJ Frost, but he was quickly ruled out as a suspect. Okay. He did tell police, though, that Cicely had dated some less than savory men. But then he says, I wasn't on the up and up myself.
He's probably
Look,
sleeping with them
I
scrippers.
respect the honesty.
He was probably sleeping with the scrippers.
Yeah, they do. If you come on, if you're the DJ in there, yes. Yeah, you already know you are, man. Yes. So he said, look, I wasn't on the up and up, man. I was on some trash and she messed with me. So obviously she definitely don't have good taste in men. That's basically what he said. This is when police had to start digging deeper into the man that Cecily had dated. Between Jeff and Larry, there were several. However, two really stuck out to the police.
So police also look into Cicily's ex-boyfriend, whom she had a domestic violence case on. One of her ex-boyfriends, Rex, was brought up as a suspect. He was physically abusive towards her, and the violence unfortunately didn't stop there. She put a case on him when her son was younger. He was babysitting for her while she was at work, and the family got a call from the hospital because the baby had been badly beaten. However, well, this is why you don't let random men watch your kids.
I don't get it. I honestly do not get it with that. But why women, why people? I'm not gonna say women, because men do it too. Why people feel so comfortable and so trustworthy, man. You're not watching my kids. I don't even let my kids' mama watch my kids.
So, at the time, Rex was already in jail serving time for that child abuse case. So he had like 20 years worth of time for that. They wasn't playing with him. They locked his ass up. So he
Damn,
wasn't
that
even,
must have been bad to give him 20 years.
yeah, he must have did something crazy. So next they found out about Michael Walker, who's also an ex-boyfriend. And they said he and Cicely had broken up shortly before her murder. So they said that he had broken out her car window and he had threatened her life at some point. So police immediately put out an APB on Michael Walker. So I remember Latoya, the neighbor, that said she saw a man entering the apartment that day. The police didn't show her pictures of Michael Walker, and she was like, "Nope, that's not him." She knew what he looked like, so he was taken off the suspect list. So the police decided to go ahead and let's try and circle back around to Larry Dunn, just have some loose ends. So they go
Exactly.
to his house and they knock on the door, and the woman answers. So the police are like, "Hey, Larry here." The woman says, "Well, I'm his wife. I mean,
See
how
that
can
right
I
there?
help you?"
That's crazy right there. You know what I'm saying? Because that man, you know what I'm saying, he could have been, you know what, it was a one-time thing. And left it alone. And now look, that's why what you did, what done in the dark,
Comes to the light, as
will
they say.
come to the light.
So he's
Yes.
married. Is this a new angle? So maybe the people are like, the wife found out about the affair and killed Cicely, but wifey looks so baffled and she's like, why are y'all here on my doorstep and asking for my husband? So they're like, we need to speak to your husband in connection with the murder. She's like, a murder? Get your ass out here.
Look, I know they were like, God damn.
So he come into the
Oh
door. He came to the
God.
door looking stupid as
Hey,
hell.
yeah, the stupid face that you talk about. I bet you were like, yeah, oh Lord. And that's the crazy part. He ain't got nothing to do with it. Well, we don't think he do. So
So
good
now
old
Larry's
Larry.
saying that though, and if Lucy killed, his ass would have been right on the slab next to Cicely, okay?
Right next to her.
Right next to her in the morgue. So the police explained that Larry was in a relationship with Cicely. They just threw all his dirty
I
laundry
know
out
he
there.
probably
Like,
look like nigga. Come on, man. Let me talk to you to the side, dog. Let me
like y'all
highlight
could even
you.
pull me to the side. They was like, nah.
Yes, and I could prove I didn't do nothing. Don't tell her nothing, man. So I got some traffic tickets I need to clear up. Jeez.
So at this point, the poor wife is so confused. They didn't say that this poor woman was found dead in her apartment, and they want to talk to my husband about a dead woman that I ain't never heard of before. So they can tell that the wife is so confused, and they knew like she knew absolutely nothing about the murder. So they asked Larry to come on down to the station. So he agrees and to go down to the station
Hey,
with
look,
them
I know she was
again.
like, we will be down there. We will
Nah,
be
I'd be
there.
like, nah, you on your own with this one, nigga.
Oh,
I
you
don't
would do
want no
that?
parts of it. Yep,
You
show
wouldn't want to
is.
go?
Hell no, I'm not going with your ass. Because first of all, had you been where you were supposed to have been, we wouldn't be in this position. So no, take your ass on there by your damn self. I ain't coming.
Yes, yeah, yes, exactly. Like, forget all that stuff. Know what I'm saying? But
I ain't
okay.
coming.
Back at the station, that is hilarious, right? Hey,
I'm
look,
not.
I know, right? We know what just happened. It's hilarious. So back at the station, Larry confesses to being a habitual cheater. This isn't the first time that he cheated on his wife. He actually does it frequently. I mean, he proud of it too. Like, yeah, I know from time to time.
But it
He
was that
liked to.
he confessed like, oh, you about to say you did it? Oh no, I'm just gonna tell you I was just a cheater. That's all I got. That's all I can say. I'm a cheater.
So he said he liked to meet women on chat lines and that he was simultaneously juggling multiple women, including his wife. So he was just out there being freak Nancy, right? I've been stroking. That's what I've been doing. He wasn't in love with Cicely. She was just another, you know what I'm saying, another little side. Like, she wasn't even a side chick, though. That's the crazy part. He said she was a sex buddy, right? Just a friend with benefits. Cicely didn't even know he was married. Larry tells the police that he and Cicely had only been having sex for about 3 weeks. That's it. He is adamant about not having anything to do with her murder. However, he does admit that he saw her the morning of the murder. He said that they did bang it out, you know what I'm saying, and that he left and he went about his day. He
He said,
swears she
"Wham
was
bam, thank you, ma'am."
exactly. He went down there like, yeah, I'm about to give you the best 3 minutes of your life, girl. He swears she was fine when he left. To prove his innocence, Larry volunteers to allow police to search his car. What? Come
Dumbass.
on, my car. You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't allowing you to search nothing without a warrant.
Nothing. I need a warrant. Jay
Because
Z
what did
taught us
Jay Z
that.
say in 99
Yes,
Problems? He said you need a warrant for that.
yes,
Mm-mm.
exactly. So
Nope.
police say, "Why, thank you, sir," and they go search his car. They pull out the luminol, and that's that stuff that they spray in the sea like bodily fluids and blood or whatever, and spray it inside the car. And lo and behold, the car lights up like a Christmas tree. So it's all
Dumbass.
blood, skeet, everything is in that car. Police go back and
I
talk
don't
to
think it
Larry.
picks that up. I think it only picks
I
up
think it
blood.
do. So it's yeah, blood from the window to the walls. It's everything in that car. Police go back and they talk to Larry, and all of a sudden his story is now she killed me, so I killed her. So now everybody is scratching their heads because this isn't making sense. Larry then drops the bomb. Cicely was HIV positive.
Listen to me. So apparently, Cicely had been diagnosed with HIV in 2010, and allegedly,
She
she
got the
did not.
gift that keeps on giving.
Allegedly, she did not disclose
Allegedly.
to Larry her status before they started having sex. And for some reason, these people, I'm not gonna call them out their name, but these people
Go
were having
ahead.
unprotected sex.
That's crazy. I mean, first of all, especially now, like that's playing Russian roulette with your wang. That's basically what you're doing. I mean, because you cannot tell. There's no like, like, it's no way you could tell. Like, okay, like I don't know, this might be so crazy. Like with females, some females, like you could tell if something ain't right because they have a little scent or a little smell. You know what I'm saying? Or you see a little bit of cream coming out that's not natural, right? But if you got that, it's really no symptoms.
No, not that you can just see, especially not for HIV. Like you can't tell who has HIV and who doesn't.
You then that's over. Look at Magic Johnson.
That
No,
man ain't got HIV. He is cured. That
yeah,
man, he
yeah,
is
oh yeah,
cured.
He definitely cured himself. Yes, see, I mean, but he had it at one point in time. You couldn't tell. So
Yes,
okay, my
yes.
bad. Go ahead.
Um, so he said that before he and Cicely met in person, they talked on the phone for about a week. The second meeting is when they had sex, and they
S-
continued to have unprotected sex over the next few weeks.
So that confirms my original statement that she wasn't looking for love. She was a hoe.
So Larry says that one day while they were on the phone,
What day?
Cicely was watching TV and she mentioned that the woman on the show told the man she was dating she said she was HIV positive and she found it funny. He said he didn't find it funny. I'd have been like, I don't get what's funny either. I'm
Me
with
either.
Larry on that one
I'm
because
with
what's
Larry.
funny? So Larry said the comment threw up a red flag for him. He said a couple days later, he asked Cicely if she was HIV positive and she denied it. But then she came back shortly and said, yeah, she was HIV positive. She had a Rick James moment, like, nah. Mm-mm. Yeah, I got HIV. Yeah, she sure did.
But
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what made him ask. Like, I bet you when she laughed, that stood in the back of his head. He probably was just sitting there just thinking probably all night, like, why would she laugh like that? Like, well, why? For him to go back and ask her that, because y'all been messing around this whole time, you ain't asked her one time, and you just have to ask her now. So whatever.
No, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, no, it seems like people don't care these days because you be like, you gonna get a condom or no? You just dive right
And these
in with
dudes, they don't care. You saw the
they.
picture of the video, old dude.
Oh my god, that was disgusting.
Man, that dude like that dude like he had a half eaten baby root. Know what
Oh
I'm saying?
my,
Just yes, just 'cause
yeah.
they don't care. Yes, I mean,
But I'm like, but nobody takes into account, and I worked at Planned Parenthood, so I've seen way much more than I've ever. wanted to see in life. Between Planned Parenthood and working in urology, I have seen more than my fair share of things that I never want to see again.
Mm.
But my thing is, why are you so comfortable just sliding up in
I
somebody's stuff?
mean,
I ain't gonna hold you. I do background checks because I did. I worked in the medical field and I wasn't supposed to, but I ain't gonna hold you and say I wasn't looking up people's charts.
no, I don't blame you.
No,
Shoot. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Thank God you're not in the medical field no more because you will be fired. So
exactly.
he says that at this point, he felt like he and his wife both had HIV too. He said he felt suicidal and he was, of course, distraught. He tried not to have any contact with Cicely, but a week later, a week
But a
later,
week later,
a week later, he went back over to her apartment. Larry said Cicely knew that he was coming. He alleged that he wanted her to explain to him in person why she didn't tell him. He said she let him in the apartment and he went up to the bedroom. He said she was quiet and Larry asked, I mean, what's up? What's up? But instead of her answering, she gave him head instead. So she gave him head and said, so you know that she has HIV. She told you. You go over there to get a explanation, and instead you get head from her. I mean, that's
I
the
guess
dumbest
he
shit in
like,
the
well,
world.
the damage is already done. Now, man, as well get one for the
I,
road.
I, I mean, you're right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, I might as well. Then they had sex a few times. So not only that, he banged her out a couple times, knowing that she has the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, at that point, he figured he already got it. So I guess he figured, well, the damage is already done. So
Yeah, do your research, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's harder for men to get it from women and women to get it from men. Just do your
they
research.
don't, they don't,
So,
they don't, they ain't
yeah,
ready for that conversation.
not at all. So afterwards, she still wouldn't tell him why she didn't tell him. He says he then called it out that she then called attitude like he was annoying her to death. Death, all right, for still asking about it. Larry then says that Cicely basically told him that she did him a favor because the men who infected her didn't tell her. So she was like, look, they didn't tell me. So you lucky I told you. I was just gonna let you find out like I found out.
That's
You know,
ignorant as
and
hell, allegedly.
exactly. Yeah. So Larry said that the more that Cicely talked about it, the more angry he got. He said she said it so nonchalantly and didn't care if he got HIV or not. Obviously, she didn't. If she didn't tell you, she really didn't care. But then again, brother, it's your fault. You can't blame her for this. Like real talk, he really can't blame her. Yes, she did have an obligation to tell him, right? But
But that's still you still have to take
you
responsibility
still
for
got an
your part
obligation
in the.
there to strap up to make sure that you protect yourself, or at
Or
least
I'm not trying to be funny. You could even ask beforehand. I
exactly.
mean, like, just say, "Hey, is there anything you would like me to know?" Regardless if she lied or not. At least you opened the floor to you
Maybe you got.
know.
I mean, you could be nice. You know, you be like, hey, just acting like you know. What I'm saying you everything good
I'm
down there.
ignorant.
Oh
Apparently, I
yeah,
was told I was ignorant because I asked all type of questions on the
yeah,
first
or
date.
just when was the last time you had a checkup? That's it. No, I'm saying, hey,
That it is because
they got
people
my
don't.
chart. They got my chart. Hey, look, let's go ahead and trade on my chart thing.
Before
Here you
we
go.
slide in anything, yes, sir. Because I asked all type of questions on the first date.
Yeah, and that's probably why you still out here single. You ask too many questions.
Well, first of
Yeah,
all, there's things I need to know. Like, excuse me, were you biologically born a man? I really need to know. Apparently,
oh
I was told that's not
Lord.
an appropriate question to ask, but I need to know. I don't care.
Okay.
I just prefer a biological man at birth. I
Yeah.
just don't want
I
to be
I
catfish.
got you. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got you. You don't want him. You don't want to find out that she jam out with her clam out. So I get it. So Larry says Cicely told him that you are not the first and you won't be the last. And he took that to mean that she wasn't gonna stop. That basically she targeted men to give HIV. So she was looking for her love, all right. Yeah.
So
Right.
basically, he said he did the world a favor.
Exactly. So he said he wanted her to pay. Maybe break out her windows or slap her around, but he had no intentions on killing her whatsoever. So that didn't cross his mind. He just said, look, she got to pay for what she did. He said while she was lying down that he got up and he went to the kitchen to get himself something to drink. He saw a knife and he slid it in his pocket. He went back into the room, laid in the bed with her, and plunged the knife in her throat. Damn.
Not you
Bitch died.
laughing.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, geez, dude. You know what I'm saying? He made sure he got his nut off first. You know what I'm saying? Because that post nut clarity is a mug. He probably was like, oh Lord, jeez, I did it again. God, she gotta die. because he was gonna stop messing with her. So he said, "Hey, I might well go ahead and take her out." The detective asked if Cecily knew he was going to stab her. Larry said she didn't know until the knife was in her neck. He said her alleged deception made him snap. He said killing her wasn't on the menu, but that was just how it ended up. He said he did not know what he was thinking or why he did it. You know what I'm saying? He had been in a real serious amount of rage. It was thinking like, I gotta kill her. So Larry said she bled a lot after the stabbing. He didn't try to get her help. He knew she couldn't dial 911. He said he left Cecily there for her children to find her. Now that's horrible.
Devious.
That's devious as hell. But
That's
so
evil.
see, my thing is now if it was if it happened the moment that she told him, I can
Right.
understand the rage. But the
Right.
fact that she told you and then a week later you went back, got topped off, and then know what I'm saying, know what I'm saying, but had her busted wide open for a player, it don't make no sense. So
Mm-mm.
he then burnt his clothes, tossed the knife in the dumpster outside a Waffle House. Why a Waffle House? Know what I'm saying? Why the Waffle House? There's always some drama at the Waffle House. Now you doing knives in the dumpster outside a Waffle House.
They
He's
do
a
got some bound waffles though.
Yeah, so he took the police to yeah, they do. He took police to the weapon, then sent her text after the murder to made it look like he hadn't been there all day. So he's trying to cover his tracks, but no, he's not doing a good job. He was immediately arrested after his confession and after he told him, and he was charged with her murder, and his bond was $500,000, which to me is that's crazy. But
No, it's
I don't
not.
know.
You on a murder charge. You lucky they even gave you a
No, I was
bond.
saying it should have been higher. I'm not saying it should have been lower. I was saying it should
Oh,
have been
I'm
higher.
like, he on a murder charge. I mean, shoot, you lucky they even gave you a
No,
bond.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I just said it should have been higher. That's just me. But go ahead.
Shoot, they should. I don't know. Yeah, because you cost something about 500,000. We ain't got it. Um. So according to Cicily's sister, Cicely was very upfront about her HIV status, and even her children knew. So her sister believed that Larry premeditated her sister's murder, and at the time, Cicely's children temporarily went into the custody of Jeff Busby, aka DJ Frost.
DJ Frost the boss. When the story hit the news, the story blew up. Of course it did. I mean, something like this, not disclosing your infection. It was making national headlines. It even made it to Nancy Grace.
A 7 and 8-year-old come home from school, but within minutes they come shrieking out of the home. Something's wrong with mommy. The little boy and girl find their mom dead on the bedroom floor, and tonight a stunning motive for murder emerges.
Remember, Nancy Grace was used to be real popular back in the day.
What happened to her? Did she call somebody a nigga or
I
what's
don't
that?
know. I
No,
don't
no, that
know.
was the what was the no, that's the lady that
That
could
was
cook.
Paula Dean, I
Oh, that was
think.
Paula. Oh, damn, I miss her, man. She can cook. They said that she stole a recipe from a black woman. Did you know that?
Yeah, I
I
saw
just
that.
heard that.
She probably did. Makes sense.
Yeah, man,
They steal everything
that white
else. I
bitch could
mean,
cook some fried chicken. Lord Jesus.
that's because it wasn't her cooking the fried chicken. They steal
I
everything
I
else. They ain't surprised.
I see it now. So Larry did a one-on-one interview with Fox News. He said that he had no remorse. He said, "So you think you just gonna give me HIV and kick me to the curb? That's not how this is about to happen." And I just took it there. And she's no longer alive.
That nigga said,
Damn.
"I have no remorse at all." Like, damn, no, you just.
I killed
He said, "I cried 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it." Okay, sir.
exactly.
Roll with that. Roll with that.
Oh,
So, Texas is one of the very few states that does not criminalize HIV transmission. So, that means that if you go around giving people HIV, they can't charge you for it, which is crazy because a lot of states they do charge you for it because that's still if you knowingly are transmitting HIV to another person, you
man,
definitely
that's a
need to
death.
be.
Yeah, you gotta
I
like
mean,
yes.
these days it's not a death sentence anymore, but still, it still needs to be criminalized because you're knowingly passing on a potential, and especially because back in 2012, it still was considered a deadly disease. There wasn't what we have now, so where you can be undetected and you cannot pass it anymore.
Yeah, my thing is if you definitely know, like if you sorry, some people don't know, let's be honest. Some people have no idea because they don't get checkups. But if you know, right? If you actually know that you do and you still out here soaking and poking, yeah, you definitely need to be charged.
I agree 100%. Most of the state, a lot of states do, but Texas is one of the very few states. And this was back in 2012, and I looked it up, and they still do not criminalize HIV transmissions.
Oh man, the test is one of
And that's
yeah.
20. That's what 12 years later they still don't do it.
Damn.
So, healthcare providers must notify past sexual partners, but not future partners. So, initially, Larry entered a non guilty plea, and he went to trial under self defense. And this was October 31st, 2013. It would be a hard to prove due to the fact, like we said, that he knew about the HIV for a week before he killed Cecily. So there was a copy of text messages were presented for the dates of September 2nd and September 6th, where Cecily had told Larry that she knew she was wrong and she apologized. So, okay, now it's not allegedly. Apparently, she didn't disclose her HIV status.
Mm.
So Larry said that the situation had him fucked up, and that was a direct quote.
I can actually hear them saying that. They're like, "Ooh, okay, Mr. Larry. Okay, we get it." So, September 5th, um, 2012, Larry tests to Cecily became sexually explicit and graphic, indicating that he still wanted a sexual relationship with her. He said he could see why she thought he was coming to the apartment for sex,
No
right?
shit, Sherlock.
Exactly. So Larry ends up changing his mind and entered a guilty plea. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison for second degree murder on November 6, 2013. Let's back up. Now
Mm-hmm.
remember,
Yes.
Khadijah
Mm-hmm.
Brown
Yep.
was sentenced to 40 years for second degree murder for a gun that she didn't know was loaded and shot in the air. Ain't that crazy?
Right, and he literally
He
sat
did. He
here
did.
and sat on this
He
for a week.
premeditated. He sat on this for a whole week, bust her down, and then killed her. Right. So I just
Mhm.
want to throw that out there. So he filed an appeal in June 2015, stating that the jury failed to find he acted under immediate influence of sudden passion. Bro, you had a week. And also, the evidence and test should not have been admissible in court because it was seized without a warrant.
So the court said, no,
Mm-mm.
sir.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
First off, you already pled guilty, so we don't want to hear it. And that text evidence you're speaking of, it didn't come from your phone. It was taken from Cicily's phone when we found her body. So no,
Boom.
you can keep that. They reaffirmed the conviction, and he is currently serving his time at Garza Prison in Beeville, Texas. His next parole date is September 7th of 2032. So he got about 8 more years before he can even come up for parole. And I hope he done changed his mind there, because you in there talking about I ain't got no remorse. I hope you got some remorse
He gonna have
now.
to be like Red from the Shawshank Redemption. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, I'm sorry. You trying to get out, but nah, yeah, he probably. I mean, how many years has it been? So how many years would it be?
It's already been 12 years. That was 2012. So it's already been 12 years. He got another 8 to go. So he had to do 20 before he could even be up for
Yeah,
parole.
they gonna probably let him out, man.
I don't know. So we came across a few comments from 2012 when the story hit the media. So we want to share those.
Yeah, so she still knowingly affected this man. Most HIV people get very angry and no longer care and tend to look forward to infecting others. It's to say the truth. I believe that. Like I really do. I believe.
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
some of them do. Yes, some people do.
Yeah. I don't condone murder, but aren't both of them murderers? No, because let's be honest, HIV now, and even back then, it was in a death sentence. No, as long as you take your medication, there's been plenty of people that have lived, you know what I'm saying, a regular life. I mean, as regular as you can with the HIV, but live, a long life with it. So it's not a death sentence. It's not like it was in the 80s where a nigga coughed.
You're going to die.
Yeah, when you did you find out you had AIDS on a Monday and on Friday you were dead?
Yeah,
No,
like they tell
it's
you, you got HIV, just go ahead and start planning the funeral.
exactly, man.
With
So
your
no,
family,
it's
because
not like that no more.
it take black people 7 to 10 business days to get up here. So go ahead, just start planning
Go
the
ahead,
funeral
plan a
right
funeral,
now.
dog, because you will be dead in about 48 hours. But I get it. Blame the vile evil man, but the woman is innocent, right? You can tell that's a dude that's been hurt. He probably got he probably end up with one of them dudes that got end up getting it from a chick. Because how can you say that? You know what I'm saying? Like this dude literally stabbed her in her neck, and he told her, but we already know the case, so whatever. And another comment was she is just as guilty as him.
So,
So,
hmm. Quote,
hmm,
a moment of insanity. I don't agree about leaving her out for the kids to see, but honestly, it was self defense. She
stop.
knew she was a
How?
killer and proud of it. She probably dealt with him because he was married and she was teaching him a lesson.
First of all, we don't know what happened in that bedroom. You can only assume. So the fact that you like, the, the fact that the sister has said that she was open with it, the fact that she did tell him how was she proud of it? You know what I'm saying? She told him about it. She did. She actually told him about it and he knew of it. So how would David be considered
Well, no,
self-defense?
she didn't tell him until after the fact.
No, but yes, after the funny thing or whatever the case may be, yes, I get it. Yes, I get what you're saying. But the point, it's not all I'm trying to say is not self-defense. It ain't
No,
self-defense. It ain't like she had an A's bat and we're trying to swing it at him. You know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying? What's a self-defense? That's all I'm trying to say. So go ahead. My
but
bad.
it was not. So another quote was, "A fair sentence for him would be 1 year of probation."
Okay, now they tripping. He stabbed this dude, he stabbed this chick in the neck, left her to die, and then left her for her kids to see. And this dude, 1 year probation. You could at least have 1 year in jail. Probation? Oh yeah, my
But
probation
that
up. I
just
didn't think
shows
about that.
how like it's a crazy case because like y'all rooting for the killer. Like, I mean, I get it.
Again, trust me, the people that's in it is dudes that, know what I'm saying, ain't had a coochie since coochie had them. Know what I'm saying? It's them alpha males. Those the only dudes that saying ignorant stuff like that.
No, it is.
Trust
It
and
was some
believe.
females on here talking a lot of trash. Like, I mean, it
They
was
were
a lot.
probably,
It was a
but
lot of comments.
we don't know
And
if they were born females. We don't know.
well, back in okay, so but a lot. It was. I mean, it were thousands of comments, and most of them were in favor of Larry. I mean, as wrong as it is, two wrongs don't make a right. But
Wait,
I
didn't I tell
mean,
you in our one last case you can't trust a nigga named Larry? Yes, that was who was that?
I have no idea. I don't ever recall you saying that.
Yes, it was one of our cases that we did, and it was the girl brother, and she drove him somewhere. Remember the brother picked her up?
Oh yes, but it's not. My brain is not. It's not
Yes,
working. I remember exactly.
I think that's the
Yes.
chick that you don't like. The chick from Garfield.
That's probably why I tried to erase it from my memory because
Yes,
I
I
didn't like
told
that
you.
case.
Yes, man. My
Mhm.
words always come to fruition every time. Don't trust a nigga named Larry. But go ahead. I'm going to leave this part for you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So before we end this story, let's just talk about how Larry is negative for HIV 12 years later.
Dumb ass. And
So
and
basically,
continuously tested negative. So he get tested all the time and never. So you killed this chick for nothing.
had never been tested before he killed her. I mean, well, it would have been too early at the time. But dude, you don't even know if she gave you HIV or not. So you're literally sitting in jail and you don't even have HIV.
And that is, you literally killed this woman because you thought you had HIV. You wouldn't even get chlamydia. You didn't even get crabs. You ain't getting nothing. And you didn't kill her
But you got a
because
40-year sentence.
for 40 years.
A 40-year sentence. So shoot, he gonna be old and dried up. He ain't gonna be getting nothing when he get out either.
Yeah, unless Nasty Nate get to him. You know what I'm saying? And give it to him and take his Bucci cat, then it's over.
Well,
That was a good one. Yeah, that
that
was a
that
good one.
was
You know
so
how to
now
pick them.
I do. So now it's time.
Love, lies, and alibis.
So this week we are so like let's talk about how easy is it for a woman to transmit HIV to a man.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
they
Put that. That's funny you did that. Yeah, put these statistics up. Know what I'm saying? Statistics.
statistics.
Statistics. I'm sorry.
So, okay, it says the transmission of HIV from a woman to a man is generally less efficient than from a man to a woman, but it is still possible. The risk of transmission during heterosexual intercourse varies based on several factors. One is the type of sexual activity. If it's vaginal sex, it has a very low transmission risk compared to anal sex, but can still be transmitted through vaginal intercourse. Two, a viral load. If the woman has a very high viral load, which is the amount of HIV in her blood, the risk of transmission increases. If she's on an antiretroviral therapy and has an undetectable viral load, the risk is significantly reduced. So the presence of STDs, STIs. If either partner has a sexually transmitted infection at the time, the risk of HIV transmission increases due to inflammation or sores that can facilitate the virus's entry. And this is a funny one. So circumcised men have a lower risk of acquiring HIV compared to uncircumcised men. You know what
Because
I'm talking about?
they got a built-in condom. That's why. It's like a bit. You can just put a little rubber band at the tip.
No, you miss no.
Oh.
Circumcised men have a lower chance. So if you're
Then okay, I misunderstood you. Then oh yeah, okay. Yeah. You gotta
see, I want to start
clean
warning
that
a couple
flap.
people.
Clean that flap, man. Clean it. Sorry.
So, next, I thought that was funny. So, condom use, of course, using condoms consistently and correctly significantly reduces the risk of HIV or anything else, and
Yes.
pregnancy. That
Yes.
too. I mean, although what I learned, because they always tell you to wear a condom so you don't get pregnant. Did you know that condoms are only 77% effective against pregnancy?
Are you serious?
Dead ass. 77%. Excuse me. That leaves a very wide gap.
Man, that's
Very
a
wide
big
gap.
yes, that's a what is it 32%? No, 33%
Mhm.
or
That's
23%? No, that's 23%,
yeah,
right?
it's a very
Oh, that's crazy, man.
yeah,
That's why
but
hey
they when
look,
they say 99% effective, they mean 99% effective against STIs
but
is
not
what they're
yeah,
speaking
that's
of.
hey, look, bro, get snipped. I'm telling you, man. Get snipped. You shoot the club up, no bodies.
Right. So anywho, we're gonna talk about how HIV disappropriate. Why can't I get my word together?
You sound like me.
I know. I'm like, this is my word I use all the time. So basically, where
I
am I
like how you
at?
just skipped it.
Because I can't get my words together today. Let me live. My mind is already on vacation,
Yes, you're
okay?
going on vacation. By the way, yes, yes, Tiffany will the host Tiffany will be on vacation.
Because this Virgo
Um
season, it's my birthday, and
Virgo
I ain't been
season.
outside
We are
all
going to do it. We definitely
year.
doing a live while you're on vacation. We got to. Come on, man.
Yes.
Show
So
off to everybody.
HIV disproportionately affects the Black community in the United States. And this is the most recent data. It was back in 2021. But Black Americans are accounted for approximately 40% of new HIV diagnoses, despite
Damn.
that fact that we only represent about 12 to 13% of the US population. So this makes Black Americans the racial group with the most HIV infections. Why do you
Mm.
ask? And I did a whole, I remember I did a whole article on this thing. I mean, a whole paper on this in college. But honestly, it is due to Black men, particularly those Black men who have sex with men, are significantly at a higher risk. And Black men who have sex with men are accounted for about 26% of new HIV diagnoses among men who have sex with men in 2021. And
Damn,
then
man.
this is also really shocking. Well, it's not, I mean, not shocking to me, but maybe to you. Black women also face a higher risk compared to women of other races, ethnicities, making up about 58% of new HIV diagnoses among women in 2021. And the reason is when they talk about the men who have sex with men, those are considered the down low men.
The
The men who
download.
don't remember when J.L. King came out with that book back in what was that 2004? Baby had me looking
Oh,
at
they
me.
had a movie with what's his name? Leon was in it. Did you see that movie? And like he
No, I
said,
didn't
"Hey,
think
you got something in your eye," and he blow in the dude eye, and that like was an
yes, because
indication.
J.L. King, like, I mean, that book traumatized the mess out of me. I ain't trying to be funny. I was looking at baby daddy like I was side eyeing the mess out of him. I was just like, and to this day, I really think that man is on the down low. But I'm like, just be who you are. Just be you. It's not wrong with just go ahead and be you. But anyway, the problem is that they don't want to acknowledge because unfortunately it's still not acceptable, quote unquote acceptable, in the Black community. So they're having sex with men whether they're in prison, and they're coming home and they're not telling their wives, women, whoever they're sleeping with, that they've had sex with men. And J.L. King, again, this is not for me, but this is what he was quoting in his book, was about how they don't they don't consider themselves gay. So, and if they
I'm not
you
gay.
if
I
they would,
just
he
have
said he
sex with
said that if
men.
they use a condom, it would basically say that they were gay. He was like, but since they don't feel that they're gay, they won't use a condom, which, again, that is the whole problem right here. Use condoms, it's safer. Problem solved. But and
Yeah.
now, like I said, there's so many medications out there now that you don't have, like, it can make your HIV like undetectable. We had before I left, I think it was Truvada, if I'm not mistaken, and they would have like but it was so weird because it was only available to men. Why? I don't know.
Weird. Yeah,
Right,
because
but
they say gay men,
it's a
yeah, gay
preventative
men.
measure.
Yeah.
It's like a vaccine, and they will have to come in every 3 months. We will have to do like run not drug tests. We will have to run HIV. We will have to run syphilis, all the whole STD panel, to make sure that they didn't have any STDs, and they would get this injection, or was it an injection? I believe it was an injection, and that basically prevented them from contracting HIV. Now, I haven't been in the medical field in 3 years now, so I don't know if it is available to women, but I always thought that was weird. Like, why can't it be available to women too?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Me either. But so, basically, they say the southern United States, where a significant portion of the black population resides, has some of the highest rates of HIV in the country, and we have heard that.
Yeah, especially Atlanta. They say
Well, I
Atlanta
wasn't
and
trying to name no
Texas.
places, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they say
Atlanta,
Atlanta's
Texas,
really
yeah.
bad. And they say, as black people, we are with HIV are more likely to experience worse health outcomes, including higher mortality rates compared to other groups. This is due to a combination of factors, including later diagnosis, less access to consistent medical care, and socioeconomic challenges. So basically, what we can do to help ourselves, and this is something that I again learned when I was working at Planned Parenthood way back when.
Don't have sex.
No,
Oh, my bad.
you do get yourself tested. Get tested and get tested. I get tested if I'm dating someone, or I'm every 6 months I'm getting tested, because I tell people all the time, I can account for me, but I can't account for you. And the
True.
stories that we would hear, I'll never forget. I had this guy come in and he was like, "Yeah, I gotta get treated for chlamydia." And I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Well, I got it from my wife." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So people love to talk. I'm like, "Oh, okay, you got it from your wife." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, she got it from her sister." She got it from her sister. Explain
What?
further, sir. He's like, "Well, she got it from her sister because her sister's pregnant, and she was helping her sister, and she got it from her sister." No, she lying to you, sir. She did
Was he
not get
white?
it from her sister.
Was he
No,
he was
no.
black?
Yes,
You sure?
yes. He was one of us. He was
Oh,
dark skinned. I
they
remember.
not like us. No. No, hell no. All right, well, yeah, that was some very useful information, and we asked people to make sure that you get tested on the regular, especially if you out here like old girl and meeting dudes on chat lines and having sex with them just like that first time y'all meet. Make sure you get tested because you never know what I'm saying? Because you can be carrying a gift that keeps on giving.
You mean the
And
nightmare that keeps on giving, the curse that keeps on
it's
giving,
the
not a
nightmare
gift,
that,
it's a
yes,
curse.
it's yes. He
And although it's not a death sentence anymore, like, we still don't need to spread it. So just, when
Yeah,
you're
and I mean,
out
women.
there doing
It's some
what you
dudes that
do,
it's some dudes that still mess with you, even if you got it. Obviously, you see old dude now. You might end up with a knife in your neck, but you never know. So, with that being said, go ahead and close us out, young lady.
oh no, but before we close this out, we have a few things that we need to talk about.
Well, close us
So
out. Oh, are we
yeah,
still doing the sets? Love lies, alibis.
no, we have
Oh
to edit all this out, Lord
no,
Jesus.
we don't. We keeping this.
No,
Go ahead.
oh my God, we're editing it out. So
I'm in charge of
just
editing. We're not. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're gonna hate me, but go ahead.
so okay, I'll just do it all in one take. Okay, so couple things, we highly encourage you to go back and listen to case episode 9, Khadijah.
Okay, stop right there.
Um,
Stop. When I said close us out, you do realize that meant this part right here. This all it is. I mean, that's what it meant. I just want to clarify. You did exactly what I asked you to do. I just want to clarify that. Go ahead. Talk about Khadijah. Yes, go ahead. You did exactly what I asked
so
you to do.
we do encourage you to go back and listen to episode 9, the case of Khadijah Brown.
Yes.
Um, this case has taken on something with us, and You've heard us say it, you've heard us say it, but listen to it in her words. It was truly an accident. And again, for the 90,000th time, we are not condoning anything. We are not saying that she was justified. We're just saying that the sentence does not match the punishment. It was
Exactly.
truly an accident. She was being he had jumped on her. I mean, and yes, she should never have had the gun, all of that. But that 40 years is horrendous. So I did assist her mother with setting up a GoFundMe account.
And y'all
She's
don't look
just
at the
trying
let's
to
stop, hold on. If you look at the GoFundMe, man, I mean, if you see it, I mean, share it. Don't just look at it and then the people looking at it ain't even liking it. You know what I'm saying? And you so I know people are very leery with GoFundMe, but again, this
right.
is really just to help her out. Now, y'all would do GoFundMe's for some of the dumbest shit in the world. Y'all did a GoFundMe for a bitch that get hit in her face with a brick. Know what I'm saying? Come to find out it was a lie. This is
Mhm.
a legit situation where a young lady was gave a sentence of 40 years for something that she should have been given less time. It should have been manslaughter. I mean, that's what it is. And not only that, it's trying to help the mother where she can see her grandkids because at
Mhm.
them are her grandkids, and for the mother to be able to see her kids. You know what I'm saying? Because if this was you, if this was anybody, you guys would want somebody to help you guys out. So I say that to say, go ahead and get, you know what I'm saying? I mean, $5, $10, $3, $4, $5, even if it's $1. Come on, man. Stop being so goddamn cheap. Go ahead.
And thank you. You literally took the words out of my mouth. And again, this literally does not benefit us at all. The only thing that we want to see is we want to see real justice. That's it. That's all. We don't have anything else. Like we don't have any ulterior motives.
No
We just
hidden
want
agendas,
to
just real justice.
help
That's
this
it.
family because it, like I said, the situation bothers me so bad. And especially after speaking with her and getting to know her, I can't it's just something that can't be ignored. And even if you don't donate, like I said, share it because somebody may be able to. We don't know who it may get to. Somebody who has real influence. If you know an influencer, if you are an influencer, just share her story. Like that's all we're asking. We are really trying to bring awareness to her situation and to her case. That's it. That's
Amen. Yeah.
all. And that's it. And that's all.
Yep. That's it.
That's it. Oh, so I digress. So we're gonna go ahead and sign off for today. So just remember to follow us, engage with us on social media. We appreciate it. Because y'all have been engaging. It's like it's been so nice. I like it. So make sure you follow us on social media. We're on Instagram at Melanin Mysteries Pod and on TikTok and Facebook as Melanin Mysteries Podcast. And if you or remember, if you have any cases that involve relationships, give us something because sometimes like I don't know, like I don't know, like I'd be a little nah. I'm like, give me something juicy that I made that we haven't seen before. Um, yeah, and then anything else you got before I?
No, that's it. Look, yes, the host birthday will be coming up. So what day of the week is it a Thursday?
It's a
Let me look.
Tuesday. Nope, it's Tuesday.
It's okay.
Tuesday.
Okay. It's on the Tuesday. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Her birthday coming up. This Tuesday coming up, y'all. And yes, I want y'all to make sure that y'all pop up and wish my best of a happy birthday. And she will be going on vacation, leaving me behind. Granted, she did invite me to go, and I was being cheap. I want to clarify that. I was being
Yeah,
cheap. That
constantly
was my
clarify
fault.
that.
No,
Hmm.
somebody got to stay back and take care of all of this. You could edit it, and you know what I'm saying. So I felt like I had to step up to be the bigger man, to be like, you go ahead and enjoy yourself, and I'll go ahead and take care of this because it's a business. So, with that being said, go ahead, say what you got to say.
So always remember that love should not come with a life sentence. So make sure you choose freedom and not felonies. And also make sure you wear condoms too, so you don't go around killing people and you don't
Because
even
that could
have
be
the
a felony.
virus.
That could be a felony, and some,
That too.
yeah, that could
Yeah.
be a felony. So
Mhm.
we appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. We out.